Okay, so we are approaching the contamination site. That's Webb Construction there. You can kind of see where the pits used to be. They've been dug up, so there's not much to really see there. Here's not a section I'll be surveying, but I mean, this spot right here doesn't look that bad. There is a streak of iron. You can see the iron flowing in here, or at least I hope you can see it. This actually looks pretty clean from the last time I seen it. This is probably due to the pits being covered up and stuff getting washed all the way downstream. Ugh. Seeds everywhere. Okay. Stream's a little high. Higher than I'm used to seeing it. I've been here twice before. I'm gonna measure this section right here. Because it's rather convenient. I mean, if I go over there, it's wider. This is kind of a thalweg right here. Because it's a bend. Over there is more straight, but it's hard to tell how much water's flowing underneath the foliage there. But let me go ahead and show y'all some more of the contamination. Now this is a lot better than what was than it used to be, but you can see the evidence here of what it used to look like. Because this section of it is not really moving into the stream so much anymore. It's kind of become just a pond from where it's been dug up. The pit's been dug up. This used to continuously flow into this creek right here. But now, as you can see, there's really no flow. I mean, it's frozen over right now. Right there's where the pit used to be. This used to be the original flow of the stream, but then they rerouted it over there. So that's actually the source of, one of the sources of the Wolf Creek. But it used to be flowing right here before they rerouted it. As you can see, there's a plethora of iron there. The flow rate is higher than I would suspect. Like I said, I've been here twice. If you can see off in the distance there, there's two orange locations there. I don't know if you could see it in the camera, but that's where it's been surveyed previously. I don't know if those are USGS markers, PAN markers, or the markers that Dr. Vengosh placed. But nonetheless, this is somewhat of a site of interest, or at least it used to be. So now you could see, let me see if I get closer to that. I don't want the foliage to, well, the dead foliage to mess up my camera here. But you could see probably right there where it's still flowing into the creek little by little. If that ice wasn't there, it'd be flowing a little bit more. I mean, there you could see, well, I can see a little bit of flow right here, and it's seeping very so slowly into the creek here. So I mean, at one point in time this was probably bad, but my general consensus is that it's kind of been taken care of. if they could come by and clean this section up, that might prove to be beneficial. Like, I don't know how they do it, just pump it up, pump this section up, and filter it. But anyway, the point source is gone. That's a good thing. I mean, they took care of getting rid of the source of the pollution, unless the well itself is leaking, which is highly unlikely. But they got rid of the point source. As a geologist, I'm concerned that they might not have dug deep enough to get all the groundwater contaminants out. But as long as the point source is not there, eventually it'll probably be okay. I'd love to get a resistivity array and see if the pollution went lower than how they dug, or take some soil core samples. But I don't know if they'd let me. I could probably ask later. Now, my whole stand on this, politically, is that I don't really have a political stand on this. I'm a neutral party. My sister lives here. I used to live here. I mean, I do have a vested interest in this location. However, I believe that Webb, I mean, it's kind of bad that the injection well itself is kind of okay, but the pits were a bad idea. A really bad idea. And I mean, it did contaminate the place. However, I honestly feel that he's tried. I mean, he's not a geologist, as far as I know. I mean, he tried to reline the pits whenever he first found out that it was leaking. Obviously, the pits have been dug up, even though it took about 5 years. Well, I don't know when he dug them up, but I know it's been kind of an issue for the last 5 years. I mean, I see that everybody makes mistakes. I mean, this one has a little bit more impact, a lot more impact. But I mean, everybody makes mistakes. And a lot of people are giving the DEP some hell over this. But I mean, this isn't the biggest issue. I mean, we still have acid mine drainage back from the 70s to worry about. I think it's going to cost about a total of $18 million to remediate the whole Wolf Creek before it's even drinkable. Before it's even really drinkable. So, I mean, the DEP have their hands full already. And as you can see, that kind of does look like acid mine drainage. There are pockets, I don't see any right now. It's probably under the ice there. But there was some organics piled up right there. And as you can, I don't know if you could see if the resolution's good enough, but you could see the stream of where the iron seeps on by down the river here, well, down the creek. But at this point, it's mainly just the iron, the inorganics that are flowing. The organics are pretty much already gone. But yeah, the DEP, I mean, it looks like acid mine drainage. That's an issue that they've been dealing with forever. I mean, I understand somewhat where they're coming from. Webb made some attempts to fix it. I don't believe it's really fair to really name call over this. It was just an accident and things happen. But anyway, I got to survey this. Like I said, this is a Thalweg. This is in the middle of a bend. The farther part will be really too slow to measure, and it'd be a curiosity to see if I can even get a valid measurement of flow rate right here at the Thalweg. But I mean, I can try. I don't have much battery life left, so I'll do that off scenes, but y'all have seen me do the other. I'm just going to put a tape measure across, and I'm probably just going to measure the Thalweg, because I can interpolate between the two locations, how fast it's going to go across the stream. But I might take more than one measurement. It depends on how well the flow meter picks it up. And, well, yeah. And then, of course, I get an integral, stuff like that. Anyway, I just wanted to show you all the source of the problem. That there have been attempts to fix it. That area over there, definitely, I think it just needs... They should have went ahead and dug that up, too. I mean, they should have just pumped it up. And, because this doesn't look bad. This stream right here, right now, doesn't look nearly as bad as the acid mine drainage down the road, which I may show you if I have enough time left. So yeah, as long as this isn't too radioactive, which I think, as long as it's not too radioactive and that the barium has gone down significantly since they've dug up the pits, I think that the acid mine drainage is still a bigger concern. I know that is not the popular opinion, but I have to go with what the science tells me, and I'm taking I'm taking the data here to see if exactly what the situation is. Because at the moment I just have theoretical information. That's stopped pretty much. There is still some seepage going through here, but visibly this doesn't look as bad as the acid mine drainage. And I'm going to quantify to see, well, is it serious? Well, is it still serious? It was serious. There is no doubt in my mind it was serious. But is it still serious? And what's the lingering effects? But anyway, I've said too much. I'm kind of rambling right now, so time to get to it. Auf Wiedersehen.